After I posted the video saying that I've made $1 billion in sales, as a billionaire in sales, that's for me, myself, and some of my companies and some of my students, a lot of people have been asking me that how exactly did I make this money? Now in this video, I'm going to give you brutal advice if you're young and you're between the ages of like 18 to 25 and you want to start a business and make a lot of money. You can see I don't have any script, I don't have my laptop here, nothing. It's just going to be directly from my heart, telling you exactly what you need to do in order for you to succeed in the next few years. Now, as I time of recording this video, we just have a few days left at the end of the year, and I want to let you know that there is time. There's a lot of time. And whether you're young, whether you're old, or whatever it is that your age is right now, you can actually do whatever I tell you in this video and still make a lot of money for yourself. Now, right now, the world is moving into an attention-based economy, which means that everything else is going towards attention, attention, attention. And the more attention you can grab, the more money you can make for yourself. So let me go back to how I started all this, how I started building whatever it is I have right now. Before I made a single naira online or whatever, there's one thing I had, and I know that nobody can ever take away from me, which is my belief. I've always believed that I could make it. Right from the time when I was just 14, 13, 15 years old, I was always following channels online that were always posting about luxury, posting about better life, posting about making money and all that. I've always had the conviction that I was one day going to make a lot of money by myself. So whenever I started to see all those opportunities online, I never ever had a doubt, which is one of the reasons why I know that a lot of people do not make money these days. It is no longer news that you can make money online. The thing that is holding a lot of people back right now is conviction. It's because a lot of them think that they themselves cannot make the money, not that there is anything wrong with the money-making systems that they see online these days. So if you find yourself in that particular category, you really need to change. You need to start accepting the fact that making a lot of money online is 100% possible. Forget about all the bullshit you see out there. Forget about all the things that people normally say when they see somebody's earnings report and all that, how they go ahead and say, okay, this is impossible. No, it is very possible. The richest man in the world is worth over $250 billion. And if you're going to make $1,000, that's like 0.000000000% of whatever the person is worth, or the richest man is worth right now. So why exactly can you not make $1,000, $10,000, $20,000, $40,000 every single month if one person is bagging around 230 or 250 billion for himself? So your belief has to be intact. Like, you first have to accept that it is possible to make this kind of money. Another thing that needs to change if you want to make a lot of money, or if you want to get to $1 billion in sales like me one particular day, is that you need to understand that for you to make some kind of money, your identity needs to change. Something about you needs to change. When I started out business a long time ago, I started out as in fact, I was just hustling basically. If I remember clearly, one of the first hustles I did was I used to write blogs a lot. I wrote a lot of blogs out there. I was also into a lot of like buying and selling, but I was just trying to make it like quick profit. Whenever I see somebody who has something cheap to sell, I just like take it up, then sell it to somebody else. I did that a whole lot. But the first time I actually started to try to turn whatever it is that I know into a business was, I could not get into college or university as other people might say it early. So my aunt advised me to go and learn a new skill. So I had two options. It was either I go and learn about how to fabricate aluminium, right, which was what some of my family members did and it worked for them, or I learned graphic design back then. So the reason why I learned graphic design, or the reason why I chose graphic design, was because I wanted to use that as an avenue to get a laptop, to buy that laptop so that I can be playing, like, I know how to play FIFA very well. That was my goal back then. But coincidentally, when I now started the graphic design business, I lived with my uncle for like 3 weeks. He's into like printing and stuff like that. That's I'm talking about mesh now, all those kind of things. And he taught me for a while, but I wasn't quite comfortable with everything he was teaching me. I wasn't quite comfortable with how he ran his business, because remember I told you guys I've always been following a lot of people online, and back then I started to follow Chris Do since I knew that it was a business I was going to go to learn or something. So I started to follow Chris Do. I started to follow there's this guy Tola Labit. Guy is doing amazingly well. He's here in Nigeria. There was a time I even shared the stage with him, to speak, I think about a few months back, and I was so happy sharing the stage with my mentor. That's exactly where you can get to if you really, really put yourself out there. So when I started doing the whole graphic design thing, I went into school. I was designing for my faculty, designing for my churches. I was literally like a household name back then when it comes to anything graphic design. But First, my nickname changed. People started to add design to my name. So you can see that there was a gradual shift of identity in who I was. I wasn't just praised anymore. I was now praised designer. So because I was praised designer, every graphic design job or every graphic design gig out there was coming towards me, and I was like making a lot of money from it, you know. So that's the identity like you need to change. If somebody is probably calling, if you're selling food right now, somebody's calling you Vincent the food seller, there's nothing wrong with that. That is your identity, and understand that your identity can change at any time. One of my happiest things of being an entrepreneur is the fact that I know that at any single day I can wake up today and decide to stop what I'm doing now and do something else, and it literally doesn't affect anybody. As long as my old customers are satisfied, I find a way to like settle everybody that I probably maybe owe allegiance to in that particular business space. I can move on to anything I want to be. Today I can decide to be a coffee seller, tomorrow I can decide to be an affiliate marketer, next tomorrow I can decide to be a graphic designer, tomorrow I can decide to be a YouTube automation expert. I believe that is what makes me a businessman. The ability of me to change and adapt whenever I need to. So that change in identity is super necessary. You cannot be Chance the Rapper and still be Donald Trump the president. It's not possible. One identity at a time. There's some people who have literally hacked entrepreneurship a whole lot, and their name can resound in different industries. You don't need that for now. Just choose one industry and focus all your energy. Talk about it every single time. Now, another thing that I'll tell you that literally helped me a whole lot was the kind of friends I keep. I keep on talking about the kind of friends you keep, and people think that I'm just saying this just because I just want attention and all that. Yes, of course, the attention is good, but trust me, look at the truth in what I'm saying. The quality of friends you have around you is definitely going to dictate how far you're going to go in life. Now, even if you get to that particular destination that you want to get to, having those friends that are not so good for you, it can dictate how fast you get there. So probably the progress you're supposed to be making in 10 years, you will not see that progress till after like 30 years, after like 40 years, because there are so many activities or so many inputs that you needed your friends to make in order for you to achieve that milestone. So the quality of people you have around you is super important if you really want to go far. I don't know, I like to say this in every single video I make because it is the telling factor as to whether you're going to succeed or not. The kind of groups you find yourself, the kind of communities you find yourself, the kind of conversations you have with your friends. If your conversation with your friends is always about around men or around women, I'm telling you, you're in the wrong circle. Of course, like, yeah, you can discuss that once in a while, have fun, talk about whatever you want to talk about. But if that is always the bone of contention whenever you meet your friends, trust me, man, it's going to be very difficult for you to like really go far when it comes to making a lot of money. Because whatever it is that you talk about the most every single day is where or is what your focus is on. So think about it right now and say, okay, what exactly is that thing I keep talking about every single day? Like, I cannot stop talking about this thing. That is where your focus is. If that thing is something else that is not your business, I'm telling you, like, you're probably having something wrong, or you're probably keeping the wrong path. If you open your social media apps today and try to scroll through TikTok, try to scroll through Instagram and all the social media platforms, what kind of contents do you see? What are the things that appear the moment you start scrolling your newsfeed? All those things tell the kind of person you are. They literally dictate how your future is going to be. It's good to entertain yourself. I love entertainment. In fact, what's the idea of enjoyment if it's without entertainment? I like entertainment, but there has to be like a line towards it. I used to tell people always that there's a thin line between enjoyment and suffering. You know, right now you're eating the most delicious food that you know, and you just swallow and it goes into the wrong hole or something, and boom, it turns into suffering. You're enjoying alcohol with your friends, you guys are enjoying yourself and all that. For you know, you mix what you're not supposed to mix, you go into alcohol poisoning. There is a thin line between enjoyment and suffering, and you need to understand that, okay, you should not be crossing that line. So the kind of friends you keep, the kind of people that you keep around you is super important. They secretly influence you. I know people who will talk about that and say, I don't have the ability to be influenced, nobody can influence me, stuff like that. I know, yeah, nobody can influence you, yes. But have you talked about, or have you settled down and thought about the little changes in your behaviors that you've been seeing over the past few weeks that you won't quite notice them yourself? It's somebody else outside that's going to tell you that, man, bro, I think you've kind of changed. Once you understand this, you start to get careful about the people you put around you. You start to get careful about who should have access to you and who should not have access to you. Remember, I told you that for you to attract some kind of wealth, you have to change your identity. Now, the moment you have decided to, or the moment your identity changes, you as a person, you become a business. So when you're now thinking about your friends, you're thinking about it and say, okay, what kind of people do I need around this business to make this business grow? Because your life literally becomes a business. Because of course, if you don't go to work, you don't make any money. And if you don't like put in any input, you don't make any money at all. So think about yourself more importantly than you think about yourself. It's not even about how much you have in your bank account right now. It's not about how much you think you're going to make or how much you've made so far. It's just you knowing who you are, knowing who you've become. Because you have to become something different to attract a different result than you've always attracted. This single thing, I'm telling you, is going to change your life. I think I should be in number 4 now. Another brutally honest truth I'm going to let you know to help you make a lot of money is that you need to choose the right mentors, to be honest. I cannot explain how much mentorship has done for me. I don't think there's anybody in the make money online marketing space in my country, even in the US and some part of the UK, that I don't know. I may not have connected with them like personally, but I'm telling you, I know literally all of them. And I know their systems, I know their strategy, I know what their business model is all about. I know them. Now, what this is going to help you do is that it's going to create a sense of awareness as to what is working and what is not. I'm not even talking about you buying their courses. I'm not talking about you joining their masterminds and all that. That's like on a secondary level, because some of the courses and masterminds that you might see out there, you might not be able to afford them. But whatever it is that they're teaching in their mastermind is what they are doing in their day-to-day business. If you can simply copy their lifestyle effectively, I'm telling you, like to a large extent, you've literally gotten 50% of whatever it is that they might teach you in the mastermind. Don't look at what they're saying, look at what they're doing. Look at the strategies they're making for their businesses and model it. The game changer for you is going to be you actually enrolling into some of their programs and trying to get results. If you want to get close to a mentor, the fastest way to get close to a mentor is to buy the person's program or read the person's book and talk about the results you've gotten from that person's book, then shoot the person a DM with that result. Trust me, 100%, the person is going to reply. There is nobody out there teaching people how to do the things that they know how to do that is not happy seeing the feedback of students that are probably doing very well. And before you know, if you have like really good results, the person can even invite you over and you don't have to pay for that extremely expensive mastermind anymore, just because you use the small information that the person had given and you got like massive results with it. But most times people want to have access without necessarily having anything to offer, because if you have a kind of result that is really good and is really mind-blowing to the creator or to the mentor or whatever, that person automatically feels like there's something you know that he might not know. Because if you're using so little information to get so much results, it speaks well of how good your strategy is. So most times mentors like that, I'm speaking for myself right now, I'm telling you, like most times mentors like that want to bring you close. Most of the people in my CPA Academy, that's where I teach my CPA marketing program, the ones I have like really close to me are not the ones who send me a message saying, okay, I want to pay you $8,500 or I want to pay you $2,000 to get access to your inner circle mentorship or whatever. No, they're the ones who probably gotten by taking maybe a freebie program that we sell for like $35-50 and now got like really massive results, making results in like $11,000, $10,000, $20,000 from a $50 investment. Those are the guys I want to like see what exactly is going on. Like, how did you do it? This is impressive. If you have money to spare, don't hesitate on spending on mentorship. Don't hesitate, because trust me, man, you try, but there are things that if they don't tell you, you will not know. These are not strategies that are written on the books anymore. These are strategies that people discover out of experience. I've not even started talking about when you now run into problems when it comes to running a business, how you need to like have a lot of people to reach out to speak to, rub mind me whenever you have problems like that. I've not started talking about that at all. I'm just literally talking about like the general benefits of you having a mentor. A mentor is going to shortcut the process for you because they've made so many mistakes along their journey. Imagine me talking to somebody who is 70 years old and is into finance, and I'm telling him that, okay, what's the best instrument that I need to invest in right now? He's gonna say that at the top of his brain because he has been in the game for a long time. Of course, having a mentor does not mean that you're not going to do some work. You're going to do some work. You're going to like put in some effort. Now that, of course, like I told you, to get close to your mentor, you need to have like really good results. So that work is inevitable. But the process it takes to achieve that result can be shortened if you follow a proven blueprint, if you follow somebody who has been where you want to be. So mentors totally going to change your life. Another brutally honest advice I'm going to give you is to learn how to say no. Now, you see, whenever we start talking about making money online and stuff like this, there's so many ideas that are popping up around the way, so many things that a lot of people are just talking about every single time. If you don't know how to say no to some of all these things, you find yourself doing a lot of things. You find yourself being very, very busy without anything to show for it. And it gets annoying that you can appear to the whole world as somebody that is doing very well, and in real life, you're literally not making any money at all. And that's where a lot of people find themselves. They appear like they're doing so much, but they are really not doing anything at all. Understand that you cannot take upon every opportunity. You started marketing today, or maybe you started doing web design today, or you started doing one particular skill or learning one particular skill today, and boom, somebody sends a message saying, oh, hop on this crypto thing, it's going to like totally change your life. It's going to do 100x, 30x, 1 billionx. You can't. Except if your business permits you to have a lot of free time, then you can now allocate time to each and every sector that you might find yourself. But like I normally tell you, doing one thing is always the best, especially if you're just starting from the beginning. Learn to say no. Learn to say no to your family. Learn to say no to your friends. Sometimes you just have to like accept that you can't always enjoy. You have to accept that things might not always be as beautiful as you intend it to be. Sometimes you just have to accept that you just have to let some people go in your life in order for you to grow. It's part of the process. And the moment you understand all the things I'm telling you so far, man, you're going to literally see money like coming towards you, because now you're now a person of value. You're now focused on one particular thing because you are saying no to others. You now have a mentor, where you're following like a proven blueprint. All right. You now know exactly the kind of friend that needs to be around you. And last but not least, you need to have a skill, and not just any other skill, a high-paying skill. And whether a skill is high-paying or not has to do with two things. It has to do with the quality of people that you are offering that particular skill to, and the level of demand that skill has. So if a skill has high demand and it pays, like you have really quality people hiring for that particular skill, you make a lot of money. In fact, you can change the amount of money you make today by just simply offering your services to a different set of people that can pay higher for it. It's very simple. But because you're used to the small money that comes in when you when you try to like offer your skill to somebody who can just like pay you real quick, you find it very difficult. If you ask me, I'm going to tell you that from the onset, you should look for quality clients. Look for people who can buy your product like expensive. That's where the money is, to be honest. And those clients, they don't give a lot of headache. So I don't know, probably maybe I'll make a part 2 of this particular video. If you want a part 2 and you think you want me to say something else, or you want me to talk about a particular sector, just drop it in the comments, and I'll be happy to make a video answering some of your questions. So I hope you've gotten value from this video. I'm telling you, this is brutally honest advice. Some things that has totally changed my life, my skill, my friends, my mentors, people I have around me, and so many things like that. So if you want me to talk about something else in this channel, just drop it in the comments and we'll be there.